Right, but I do enjoy some wiring up things. So on the fuel tank, so I can remove it, I've soldered a little XT60 connector to the right place, so it can be unplugged and removed. Obviously you'd have to take the fuel off. Got to think of a way of blocking that off actually. And I've wired a little loom for it, so that's the other end. That will be on the boat. Permanently wired in, and that blue goes to earth and that brown goes to the signal wire from the actual little dial and gauge, and the others are bits of hard wire. Upside down, that's my wiring. So could be tidier, but it's all neat and soldered. Proper wire used. So that should be all needed to just do the main connection, and for the bilge and for the tank sender I've got those tails. I think that's the lot for now. That'll do for today. I've done another little design on Tinkercad, so I thought I'd do a little cover for my earth block. So there it is. Hopefully that'll work. Printing it at the moment. Right, so I eventually picked the taco up that came with the engine, and I was confronted with all of those cut ends. But luckily, I've now got the wire and loom, and there's the other end. So now a bit of sticking those together, but of course with a soldering iron. So let's get to that. Right, I managed to get it all soldered up and heat shrinked. So that's quite good, just by matching the colours. And I've worked out that this is the engine end, and this is the gauge end, not as I thought. And I just got to work out what the heck to do with these. I have got another loom, so I'm sure I can work that out if in fact I need them. I've spent an interesting few minutes or hours with my 3D printer. That's a little cover to go over the back of the switch just to protect the positives. That's one that isn't necessary to go over the negatives. That's a little octopus to go on the boat, and that's a conglomeration that covers the main switch with a bracket on it, so we can take a cigarette, like a socket, so we can put a charger in there, an ordinary plug-in charger. I didn't buy a fixed plug-in charger because these will corrode like hell, so you can just replace it if it does. So this is the leaning post seat. When we put that little shell there, and there's a hole goes in there, hopefully above any water that would get in the boat. That's the battery isolating switch I'll put on there, and that goes in there where we've got the cover that I 3D printed. Those wires are going to be for the cigar lighter there, and then that's the emergency wire that I've showed you before. Should the switch fail, we would have to undo those wing nuts and connect that across. That's the battery back box, the battery's not in it. Yes, so that's the seat almost done. I think it is done actually. Slowly getting there. I forgot to show you as well, I've just printed a little phone holder, so that can fix on actually a CT1 probably. When the phone's in the charger, that can just slot into that. It does fit. I had to adjust the size bit in the slicer, but it does now. Another little tiny job that needed doing on the tank is the tank comes with a 10mm outlet, the lid, which you can connect up to a deck filler or console filler, the sender, but it comes with a big vent if you're going to use the deck filler. We're going to fill for that with a jiggle siphon, so I've connected a piece of hose pipe to that, which will go like that, and in the end I've put a bung with a little sort of piece of plastic there, so there's a tiny little extra vent, and I've filled that with CT1, so that will sit like that, provide a vent and not leak petrol. Lots of little jobs to do. Well, no surprise, it's drizzling and minging, the ground's still soaking. Next job on the rib is to cut in for the main dial, which is this multifunctional Yamaha dial. So we think we're okay, we've protected the radio with that bit of paper, and now we're going to go for it. First mistake, that isn't the hole, centre that is. Get it right, boy. Right, well sometimes you have to use raw power, so I switched to one of my quarter drills and got a fairly neat hole. Happy with that. Had to be over to the right a bit because of the edge. There, we're right on the edge of the thickness of the edge of the console. But I'll be okay. There's the tack in and fixed. quite tight. It's ever so slightly on the wonk. Perhaps could do with turning that way a bit, but I might just leave that there to annoy people who have OCD. There's a switch panel. We also put in a little entrance there for the wires from that, with a little shelf clamp thing over it. There we are. So I could have a music radio there, but I don't think I'm going to. I think I'm going to work off a Bluetooth speaker. What do you think, Owen Dawes?
Sounds good.
It's good, she says. What does she know?
I know not.
She said, do you know knowledge?
I know lots of knowledge.
Good. Some little nav lights, some little LED nav lights. Obviously the green on the right. Is there any red port left? Always remember that. And now we're going to do the red on the other side. They're not the world's brightest, but they're small and neat, which is all I wanted. You've got 4 of them for a tenner. Let's see if they work. Well, that'll do for this little video in the XPRO 535 build thread, and look how horrible and minging it is. Horrible. Doesn't make you feel like going out in a rib. But there are some signs of spring coming if you look at various different things. Thanks for watching.